Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have a one brand tutorial. I am going to be doing a full face using e.l.f. cosmetics. I have been so looking forward to filming this video because e.l.f. is one of my favorite makeup brands, not only when it comes to their makeup products and their tools, they also have really great skincare. I just love so many different products from e.l.f. and I already had a lot in my collection, but I recently placed an order to make sure I had every single thing to do a total and complete full face of e.l.f. in today's video. So I have my very full bin of e.l.f. goodies here. I am so excited to put these on my face. Some of these products that I'm going to use today are tried and true favorites I know that I love and I've been using for a while, but I did recently place an order for a couple odds and ends that I didn't have. I wanted to make sure that I had every single step in my makeup routine to do a full face. So half of this video is going to be like me using my tried and true e.l.f. favorites, but there are going to be some first impressions, like I haven't used their foundation. I have their new blushes and bronzers to test out. I'm excited to jump on into this to use my favorites as well as test out some new goodies from e.l.f. So I really hope that you guys enjoy seeing this video, and if you want to see me do a full face using e.l.f. cosmetics, make sure to keep on watching. We're gonna start off with a first impression here for the brows, and this is their Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Neutral Brown. This was so affordable, you guys. I think this was like $2 or something like that. In this brow pencil, I picked up the shade Neutral Brown, which I'm hoping is going to work. Oh wow, the spoolie on this is so nice and thick, you guys. It's really like fluffy feeling in the brows. I'm gonna start off by just filling in my brows as I normally would. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be a really good color for me actually. Oh yeah, this is perfect, this color, which I'm really happy about because sometimes when your brows are off, I feel like it throws off my whole makeup look. I am really liking this so far. The color is perfect. I would say I have two little teeny tiny criticisms about this pencil that aren't the end of the world, especially considering this was like $2 or $3. I do like the large spoolie, however, I think it is just a little bit too large for my small brows because when I'm brushing it out, it's kind of smudging the product onto my skin instead of just distributing it throughout the brow hairs. The triangle tip on this did get a little bit dull after you switch. I did kind of see happening just because it is more of a soft formula, but honestly it doesn't bother me and I still feel like it was pretty precise in the brows and filled them in really, really nicely. I do want to go in with just a little bit of brow powder. I'm going to take the powder out of the e.l.f. eyebrow kit. This one is in the shade Medium. I feel like these are such classic products here on YouTube, but the eyebrow powder in here is really great. I'm not a huge fan of like this waxy pomade in here. I feel like it's a little bit too just like harsh for my personal taste, but I love the brow powder in here topped on top of a brow pencil. From what I remember, this is a pretty pigmented powder, so I'm just going to lightly dust some on top of the brow pencil that I already applied. I just went ahead and cleaned up my brows using a little bit of concealer. I will get into the concealer that I used later, but I'm really loving this brow combo. As I mentioned, specifically the color for my eyebrows is absolutely perfect and they just look so nice and sleek. Now I'm going to move on to the eyes, and typically day to day I would go ahead and prime my eyes using a concealer and setting it with powder, but for the eyeshadows that I'm going to use, which are their $3 bite-sized palettes, the putty eye primer works really, really great in combination with those eyeshadows. So I'm just going to use this on a little concealer brush just because it's hard to dip in to the little pot with these press-on nails. This just makes for a really nice base, as I mentioned, specifically underneath the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadows, and this reminds me a ton of like a MAC paint pot or something like that. As I mentioned, for eyeshadow, I'm using the bite-sized eyeshadow palettes from e.l.f. These are some of the best drugstore eyeshadows that I've ever used. They come in really nice color combos. Personally, I wouldn't recommend the more colorful ones. This one is their Acai You palette, and I'm not a huge fan of this one. I don't think that the quality and the pigmentation is as good as just just the standard neutral palettes. My favorite, of course, is the Pumpkin Pie palette because of these beautiful warm tones. I think I'm going to use this one today just because of my shirt, but I also really love the Truffles palette, which is a little deeper, a little bit more neutral, slightly cool tone. I'm going to use the Pumpkin Pie palette, and I'm going to start off with this first warm matte shade on the bottom here, and I'm just going to start by taking this shade and blending it all throughout my crease and my transition area. This eyeshadow formula is heavenly. The mattes are so buttery and pigmented. I'm sure you guys can see it's blending out so seamlessly. It did not take a lot of effort at all. Sticking in the same Pumpkin Pie palette, I'm going to move down to this shade right here, and I'm going to apply this on the outer corner to deepen up the eye and kind of start shaping the lid for our lid shade. I know you guys are tired of seeing me do warm little smoky eyes here on my channel, but you cannot deny how beautiful these colors are. I'm going to take this beautiful, beautiful orangey warm metallic shade all over my lid. I wore this shirt specifically so I could use this palette because I knew it was going to match so well. Look at that shade, you guys. These are so incredibly buttery. Do you guys see how this is applying? So good. Eyeshadow is done for now on the top. This eyeshadow look is like my dream right now. Now to finish off the top of the eyes, I'm going to go in and test out for the first time e.l.f.'s Keep Your Curl mascara. This is their curling and conditioning mascara. I have never tried any mascaras from e.l.f. Oh wow, I really love the shiny glossy packaging. It says e.l.f. on the side. That's really, really cool. I believe these have natural bristles. Oh no, it has plastic bristles. Okay, I definitely probably should have checked that before I purchased it because I don't typically love mascaras with plastic bristles. I definitely prefer a natural bristle, but we're gonna test it out today. I don't want to jump to conclusions because it could be amazing, who knows? Oh, okay, my eyelashes definitely look longer. Have you ever seen my natural lashes this long from just mascara? I am so beyond impressed right now with this mascara because this formula is like my perfect mascara formula when it comes to what I want with length, with how much volume. I do typically prefer more length and less volume, and this is giving me exactly what I want. Like, do you see that? This is probably the longest they've ever been on their own with just mascara. I am so impressed. I really, really hope this doesn't flake throughout the day or anything like that, but so far, oh my gosh, this is really, really impressing me, you guys. I love this mascara right now. The one thing that I didn't get from e.l.f. to use in today's video is some sort of spray, just because I really wanted to keep this video as affordable as possible. And the few sprays from e.l.f. were just $10, and I really wanted to keep it under $10 if I could. But I did remember that I have the Soothing Aloe Mist from e.l.f. in my collection, but it does say on the back you can mist it over your makeup or your bare skin. So I figured I would use this today instead of like an actual setting spray, just to give me another layer of hydration and refreshment underneath my primer. To prime the skin, of course, I'm going to be using the Poreless Putty Primer. I do also have the Matte Putty Primer as well as the Luminous, but I don't know how this foundation is going to be. I am testing out the Flawless Satin Foundation for the first time today, so I figured I would just use the Poreless Putty Primer just because it is pretty universal for underneath all different types of foundation. So this is their Flawless Satin Foundation. This claims to be oil-free, medium coverage, and have a satin finish. I'm going to be applying it with the Total Face sponge. You guys know this is my favorite sponge ever, and I picked it out in the shade Natural, which is a fair light shade with neutral undertones. It took me a while to kind of pick my perfect shade on the website, and I still don't know if this shade is absolutely perfect for me, but I did use the live camera shade matcher on e.l.f.'s website, which helps so much. You guys could even do it on the app if you download the e.l.f. Cosmetics app. But from trying on the different shades of foundation, the shade Natural seemed to have matched me the best when I was kind of playing around between a couple of different choices. I'm just gonna shake it up to make sure it's nice and ready. I believe the foundation was $6, and look at this packaging. For $6, I believe this is like a frosted glass. It is so heavy and luxurious feeling in the hand, and it also does come with a pump, which makes it even better. I love foundations with a pump. It has a little bit of a thick, moussey texture to it. Oh, this color looks like it's going to be really good. I don't want to use too much. I'm gonna spread out what I put just to be safe. Let's just start blending it out. This is about a pump of foundation that I have spread out on the bottom half of my face. I'm probably going to need more, but let's just see how this looks. The foundation is a little bit scented. It's not very powdering. I said powdering because it kind of has like a light baby powder scent to it. One pump covered up the bottom half of my face, like my cheeks and my chin. I am going to take just a little bit more to cover up the nose. But so far, I definitely am agreeing that this is medium coverage. It's definitely not full coverage, but I'm going to see if I could build it anymore. But I think I picked the perfect shade. e.l.f. definitely came through with that little camera try on. That was so good. I took a little bit too much for my forehead, so I'm just going to dot the excess around the bottom of my face where I want some more coverage. I'm gonna take just a little bit more on the bottom half of my face here. So I've used 3 pumps of foundation total, which I hope that doesn't backfire on me, but I just want to see if I can get it to be any more of a full coverage. Also with this foundation, the more it's like drying down and like setting into the skin, the prettier it's looking, but I'm very happy with it. I did have to use 3 full pumps total to get it to where I like, but it's also only $5 or $6, so I'm not mad at it. And I definitely think for days where I don't want to look super glam, but I want a nice medium coverage, this is going to be a great option. So hopefully it wears well as well. To conceal today, I'm using my new obsession, the best drugstore concealer I've ever tried. And this is their Hydrating Camo Concealer. You guys need to go get this now, whether you have oily skin, dry skin, normal skin. It has so much coverage. I have 2 shades here just because I did have some issues finding my shade in this concealer. I still don't think I have my perfect shade, but I've just been mixing together light ivory and light beige to get a decent match on me. Light ivory is a little bit too light and pink, and light beige is a little bit too dark and yellow. So mixing the 2 together just gives me that like perfect neutral under eye. So first I'm going in with the shade Light Ivory. Like I said, it's just a little bit pinky on me, but I still use the majority of the shade. And then just a touch of light beige here to even it out because it is a little bit too dark on me. These concealers have so much coverage and they're very creamy and easy to blend out. I'm sure you guys can just see how they're blending out on the face right now. That blended in really nicely on top of the foundation because they both have like that same creamy satin finish and feeling to them. Here's just a little up close of the skin after the foundation and the concealer, just so you guys can see. The concealer has that beautiful luminosity to it, and I think the base is looking really beautiful beautiful so far. Now I'm actually gonna go ahead and jump into highlighter. I'm just gonna keep it real. I have not tried an e.l.f. powder highlighter that I've liked. I was reading the reviews as I was purchasing the e.l.f. products and I couldn't find a highlighter with great reviews, but I found this e.l.f. jelly highlighter in my collection, so I want to go ahead and apply some of this before I set the face, just because this is a liquidy product. Now this is so interesting to me. It is like a pretty liquidy type of jelly, so this is definitely going to be interesting, but I figured a product like this I should do underneath powder, not on top of it. It's a very metallic type of highlighter, so I'm going to first just start tapping this gently on the face and then blend it out with a separate finger so I don't apply too much product. I don't even see anything, hold on. Maybe I'll use a sponge. Oh yeah, I do see it a little bit. It's a little like patchy looking. It's one of those highlighters that just like sticks where you apply it. It's not giving me like a lot of playtime, and it's kind of drying down right away in the spot that I place it. I don't like that. I think I'm gonna just try to cover that up with some of the foundation. I think this is one of those products that I'm gonna have to play around with, maybe like on my eye or underneath foundation, but I don't think I like this. Now that my base has kind of set on its own for a few minutes, I'm going to go in and try e.l.f.'s Halo Glow Setting Powder. The reviews on this were amazing, and I was deciding between this one and the matte setting powder, but this one says it gives a soft focus blurred finish, and a lot of people in the reviews were saying it's like a little bit glowy on the skin, which I'm all about the glow lately. So I'm just gonna pop some of the powder in the cap. Not a lot comes out, which I really appreciate because I never know what to do with the leftover powder. And it also does have one of the rotating things on top, just so like if you're traveling or if you're moving around, it covers up the powder holes, which is awesome. My preferred method of setting my face lately is actually with my sponge. I don't necessarily bake my face, but I just like to really press the powder in with the sponge. I'm excited to try this. It's very, very soft on my hand. Ooh, when it first goes on, it kind of looks like it's going to be a little white, but it really just like blends into the color of my skin. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face after I really focused on the areas with the concealer. Ooh, this is pretty, you guys. It's such a beautiful translucent powder. I have a feeling this is going to be one of my new favorite powders. What a beautiful finish this has on the skin. I think Halo Glow is like the perfect name because there is like this really soft and glowy quality to it. I don't look oily, I don't look shiny. It's just like the most beautiful, soft focus, like glowy powder. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful on the skin. My base is looking awesome, you guys. I'm going to finish up my under eye now. Of course, using the same pumpkin pie palette. I'm just going to take the first warm tone brown shade that we originally used and smoke this underneath my eyes. I really love that shade on my under eye, but I think I'm going to take the same like orangey metallic shade that I used on my lid, and I'm going to smudge a little bit of this like right underneath my eye as well. I love a little pop of metallic on the lower lash line once in a while. I think it's really fun. Just to put it to use, I'm going to take the tiniest bit of the jelly highlighter from e.l.f. It's actually kind of messy, if I'm being honest with you guys. I don't know if that's something I would want to reach for every day, but I want to take a little bit of this on the inner corner of my eye to highlight the inner corners. I've always heard really awesome things about e.l.f.'s primer infused bronzer as well as their blush, so I picked up both of them to use in today's video. First, I'm going to start off with the bronzer, and I picked this up in the shade Perpetually Tan. I believe this is the lightest shade. Here's what the packaging looks like. Super sleek, really like high-end feeling, and I believe these were only $6 each, the bronzer and the blush. Oh wow, it almost looks like it could be like a peachy blush. I actually picked up the blush in the shade Just Peachy. Oh no, peachy is a little bit more orange for sure. Oh, wow, that's really pretty. although it's a nice bronzer shade, it is pulling a little bit too warm as far as like a nose contour goes. I think for my nose contour, I prefer something just a little bit more neutral, but I don't think it looks horrible like with the rest of the face done. I have to say though, you guys, it is a very beautiful pigmented and buttery formula of bronzer. I've actually found it pretty hard to find like a good drugstore bronzer. This is probably the first one that I'm really liking. If you guys thought things were warm and orangey enough on my face today, the primer infused blush that I picked out is in the shade Always Peachy, which is a beautiful peachy type of shade. You guys know these are some of my favorite blush shades to wear, especially in the summer. I think they look absolutely gorgeous on this skin. That is a very intense blush moment, but I'm living for it. It's so nice. I really wanted this to be a complete and total full face of e.l.f, but I don't know what I'm going to use since the jelly highlighter, I don't think it's going to work out on top of powder. I really didn't love it. I have this e.l.f palette too. This is the Opposites Attract, but I don't think there are any good shades in here to be a face highlighter. There's this one right here called Low Key, but this has like a really strong like pink undertone to it. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try because I do want to do my best to stick to just like an all e.l.f look. I just don't know if it's gonna be too like pinky or just like light on the skin, too light. Don't be mad at me, you guys, but I am going to pull out my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder. Wet n Wild is just as affordable and good as e.l.f. If I did have an e.l.f highlighter that I liked, I would definitely use it, but I'm just gonna use this Mega Glow powder in the shade Precious Petals. This is going to match with my look a lot better than the pink highlighter did that we just tried. I'm really wondering how the jelly highlighter looks applied on top of powder. I'm going to try this. I really hope it doesn't ruin my makeup look, but I'm just going to take the tiniest little bit of it on an actual highlighter brush and see how it looks kind of stippled on top of highlighter, which it actually looks pretty. It actually looks really nice. I could definitely tell the difference of where I put that highlighter. It makes it more metallic looking. Oh, ooh, that's a lot. Hold on. Oh, I put way too much. See? This is what I get for messing with things. It was definitely more successful on this side than this side. I put a little bit too much on this side. I think I kind of fixed it to the best of my ability, but I don't know. I just don't think that this jelly highlighter is my thing, you guys. To finish off the base and kind of make everything meld together, I'm going to do another spray of their Soothing Aloe Mist. Last but not least, to finish up this full face of e.l.f, I'm going to go in with their Seriously Satin lipstick in the shade Nectar. I did wear this the other day in my testing TikTok hacks video, and it was such an amazing formula. It's a beautiful color, really like soft and smooth on the lips, and it lasted a really long time as well. And I think it's going to look perfect with our little monochromatic orangey warm tones that we have going on. Do you guys see how creamy that's going on the lips? It's really soft and easy to like overline my lips without having to use it in combination with a lip liner. Also, I forgot to mention that this packaging is some of the coolest lipstick packaging that I've ever seen, because you could see literally the whole entire bullet inside of it. Like, isn't that so cool? And the shade and the formula is so beautiful. It looks absolutely perfect with this makeup look. I am so obsessed with how this look turned out, and I love that you could get such a beautiful makeup look. You could look so glam, and I just feel so pretty and put together for using a full face of makeup that is all under $8. I was very impressed with all of the new products that I tried in today's video. The mascara is a huge hit for me. My eyelashes are looking really long. Of course, I love the brow pencil, the lipstick, the powder. The primer infused blushes and bronzers are so smooth. I love these shades. They went on really smooth. And of course, so far, I am really loving the Flawless Satin Foundation. As I'm sure you guys saw throughout the video, the only only miss for me was the jelly highlighter. I really think I have to kind of play around with it to see how this is going to work best for me. Other than that, you guys, e.l.f. literally never disappoints me. I'm sure you could see in my face upon application just the textures and the pigmentation and the quality of the products for what you pay when it comes to e.l.f. is really awesome. As I mentioned earlier, all of the products that I used in today's video will be listed and linked in the description bar down below if you guys want to check it out, or maybe even buy yourself a full face of e.l.f. cosmetics. I totally support that because the products are just that good. If you guys want to check out any of my other one brand tutorials here on my channel, I have done a full face of Wet n Wild in the past, and I've also done a full face of Milani Cosmetics. So both of those videos will be linked down below if you guys are interested in more drugstore one brand tutorials. I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this video and spending time with me today. If you did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel before you leave. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. If you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, click that notification bell down below and you'll get notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!